Hi everybody. Hi everybody. I want to say that twice in case you didn't cut in on time. Anyway, I wanted to make this video because somebody was addressing in the comments on one of my other videos that they didn't understand how like why people are more asleep and why they're awake, and saw a couple of videos from some other commenters on the Mandela Effect, and they just don't understand why, what's going on. So thought I'd talk about that. When there's different levels of, awareness of human consciousness, when you see that there's, not everybody comes to the same understanding at the same time, and some people will never come to the same understanding, right? Some people think that there's must be past lives, and for people to have to reincarnate to experience this, reality again, to come to a higher state of awareness. I don't know for sure. So I can tell you that I tried hypnotizing myself once, and ended up having ideas of a fantasy of what I had happen in past lives, but I can't, verify that. But what my point is, and I try to make these quick videos, but my point is that, there's what people call the truther movement, and there's movements of people coming to awareness of what's going on in the world. And so there's different levels. I mean, when I started in 2011, coming and going on Facebook and posting what I thought was some original truther ideas, then people were looking at it and not knowing what the heck I was talking about, and where these, things come from and where are they going. So when I have a story on my website where I was praying, and then all of a sudden God spoke to me and said, "You are toxic." So I went ahead and purged all my, toxins, like learned how to purge all the toxins from my body, and ended up, I was, eating sugar and all these other things. And, I learned about fluoride in the water and made it my mission to understand how to purge, everything from my body to get closer to who I'm supposed to be. So, and then I ended up, finding about fluoride in the water, and nobody was talking about it at that time. So I started posting about fluoride in the water and things like that. And then everybody started building up awarenesses. So, and now, everybody knows pretty much that fluoride's really bad for you, and it's that toxic, and it clogs up your pineal gland. And when our pineal glands are something really important that allow us to access higher states of consciousness. So those higher states of consciousness will allow you to understand more about this Mandela Effect and a lot of things going on. So what happens is, I think that there are forces at work trying to not have you come in, into awareness of higher states of being, so you don't upset the apple cart and you don't, change things, and they like the status quo. And I think that perhaps even chemtrails are interfering with your innate abilities and your abilities to access these higher awarenesses. That's why the Earth's blanketed with these chemtrails, to lower our vibrational states, to keep you as a slave, like trapped in what's going on. So, I'm a proponent for mankind, and I believe that we shouldn't have to, worry about things, to just be truthful and, be ourselves, and then everything's going to be right and fall into place. But a lot of people are scared and don't feel that way, and they want to go with the status quo, and they're you know, they're happy. And then once you have your nut covered and you're making, you know, the money that you want to make, and you have your house and you have everything, you don't want to change it. You don't want anything going on. You don't want anything different happening. And certainly everything that's changed is a threat. So if something's viewed as a threat, that can be a scary thing. But to get back to the original question, was posed like, how come people are, you know, asleep and how come people are awake? You know, and then it's just that even though, let's say you understand or you're coming to awareness of the Mandela Effect, that doesn't mean that you're an enlightened being. It just means that you came to an awareness of this. There's a higher level. There's always, you know, another higher level. So it doesn't mean that by any means that you know you made it. It just means that you're aware of something. So and you know, I could get a thumbs down for saying that, but there isn't. You know, you pierce the veil in one aspect, but doesn't mean you know you've seen everything. So there's more going on, but you know, it's a good thing to understand, and if you're ready for it, to understand what's going on in the world and how things are, you know, affecting you know, other things. But like, people are wondering, like, well, how come these people are asleep and they just, you know, continue with their lives and they're not affected at all, and some people are and some people aren't. I think, let me put it to you in a different way, right? So let's pretend that we're in a simulated reality, right? So let's pretend we're in a simulated reality, and all of a sudden, let's pretend that you're seeing randomly sequences of numbers, and you start paying attention. And let's say you see, you know, ones and zeros are very common in computer programming. So let's say all of a sudden you see double ones and double ones, and you're inside the computer, and you're actually you are a computer within the computer. You're a computer code, right? So let's go on that premise for a minute. So let's say you have this awareness of being, and all of a sudden you start to come, you know, wake to it, and you say, and you start noticing more, and you're getting in tune more with those kind of codes, and then you're getting other kind of information and downloads, and all of a sudden, you know, you start being aware of all these things, and all of a sudden you start getting a new code, and the new code is the Bernstein Bears / Bernstein Bears. It's spelled differently, and then you're looking at and it doesn't, you know, you're getting the input 1, input 2, and both inputs are equal, but one input was here and now the other one's here. So now you're seeing, yeah, it's yours, right? So now you're seeing a different input that was in there before, and your sequence changed, and you're like, that doesn't make sense. So now you're questioning basic standing operating procedure. Now you're questioning your reality, and now you start questioning everything. You know, so what could that be? It could be that we are in a simulation. It could be that this is a wake-up code. That would be the first instance, would be Bernstein Bears, and subsequently after that, you see the Kit Kat, and you see these kind of, these are further on codes that seem, you know, parts of your awareness, but there could be codes that you're being shown slowly over a period of time to wake you up to a different state. And you know, that's one theory. I'm just putting that forth as an idea because see these guys talk about the simulation theory, and you know, they always take it up to a certain point, and they go, "Oh yeah, simulation theory. Let's quote this guy, and let's quote that guy. Let's quote Elon Musk," and then they take it up to a certain point, but they're scared to death of going any further. They'll take it up to this one point, and then they don't go further, right? I'm not afraid. Let's go further, right? So, and there's a lot of theories going on about things, but I don't. I can tell you that, you know, I don't want to say the word insider information, but I have a feeling, I have some inkling that that's not actually the case, although our reality might be something like a holographic matrix, as physicists suggest. I don't believe that it's fully integrated that way. It just doesn't feel right. So just thought I'd put that out there, that these things might be, you know, codes to wake you up to a further different state. All these things might be slowly, you know, ramping up. So if you're seeing, you know, again, 11:11, where these things, and they wake you up to, you know, different states, and all of a sudden you're at a whole different awareness, and you're like, well, how come? Now you're thinking, how come Joe that lives on the corner isn't thinking like me? Well, he didn't. If we're going to put in that context, he didn't. He had the opportunity at one point to, but he, you know, in a free will universe, he didn't step into that mode, and he missed that boat, and which led to the other thing, the other thing, and the other thing. So they're all sequences of actions, right? You don't just wake up and all of a sudden you understand, you know, everything. There's little steps that led up to it. Maybe you're not aware of it, but it's not like you just happen to stumble across this video. I don't think. And then, you know, I say something sometimes, and then, you know, I would really worry that I didn't want to catch people at the wrong point in their awareness when I was, you know, teaching certain things. So I stilted what I would say, and I would worry. Now, I'm not so worried anymore. I think people are catching up a little bit, number one. And number two, if you're not ready for it, you're not watching me. That's why sometimes I think on some of my videos only have 10 views. Maybe I'm not popular, sure, whatever. But maybe people aren't ready, and I could put, like, I'll go on Facebook and I'll post a, you know, controversial post, and I'm like, wow, this is mind-blowing. This is gonna really tilt somebody's world out. And I try not to do that a lot, and you know, then I see 0 likes, 0 comments, and, you know, you could tell, like, nobody looked at it. So I'm like, okay, you weren't ready for it, and I put it out there, and people aren't ready for it. So there's an event, right? There's a big event coming up. Everybody feels it. We're talking about it. There's an event. Yeah. So I feel like I'm part of that event. I can bring out this event, but I don't want to, you know, again, we need to, it's little, you know, you need the baby steps. So I've been doing little videos, and, you know, leading up to bigger videos. So it's not all about me. It's about you. It's about the person watching this. You're important. But anyway, so let's, you know, and I'm doing this live. So if you want to say something, you can. I'll read the comment. But I'm not afraid to do videos live. I actually prefer them. Because what I say is, and I don't really re-watch them, but what I say is what I'm thinking, and people are surprised. They're like, oh, this guy thought this. You know, so I have a lot of theories about things. But, and I work to my IQ a lot, try to increase my IQ, and I could talk about that for a while. But I think it's important that we understand that people aren't are not on the same awareness, to circle back to the beginning, and everybody's at their own level. It doesn't mean that they're can't get there either in this lifetime, or if there is past lives or future lives in another lifetime. But be kind to people. Don't hold it against them. Don't make them feel bad. And I just don't like the idea, like, I see chats and I see guys like, hey, they meet a stranger. Hey, did you see Nelson Mandela? What do you think about him? What do you think about him alive and dead? I don't try to wake up people that way. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't, at this point. It just, to yank people out of what they're doing, it just doesn't feel right. But if they're coming to me and they're interested and they start asking me certain questions, I'll talk about it. But it just doesn't feel right to, it's like if you want the blue pill or red pill. Well, hey, let's just put the red pill in his drink, and we'll spike his drink. And then and all of a sudden he's drinking the red pill, like in the Matrix, and he's like, holy crap, what the hell? And you just went out and blew somebody's mind, right? That doesn't jive with me. It's not the right way to do it. So I put a couple videos out there here and there, and try and do it, in the nicest way possible. Put a couple ideas out here and there, and slowly, build up into certain things, because I'm watching all your videos. I'm watching all the things out there, and I have, my heart's in the right place. I'm trying to do the right thing. Got attacked a bunch of times from just posting videos about my ideas, and people are, scared, and maybe they're trolls and all the shill and all those things. I can't tell. And listen, if you're on the payroll for somebody who wants to keep people asleep and keep the status quo going, and that's how you're making your money, I understand. But I'm just saying the truth. So what I see is the truth. And anyway, so I've talked a lot. I don't know if I said anything that's going to help you at this point, but to circle back to the beginning, people are at different states of awareness. I don't think it's a good idea to put a red pill in their drink and spike the drink without them knowing about it. And you'll see it. You'll see it on your Facebook page or whatever you do, to share knowledge, and you'll put that out there, a certain thing, and nobody likes it. But if you put a cat, falling off a shelf, you got 10 or 15 likes. So, people are scared. People don't care. People want to keep going. They don't want to stop and pay attention. It's just the way it is, right? It's very few people are going to be watching these videos. Very few people are going to be liking and commenting. Very, very few people are trying to better themselves. Very, 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 very few people are awakening. These videos are targeted for those people. The very, very, very few. You're a rare breed. God bless you. There's more videos I want to do. I've been asked to do one about meditation, so I'll be sharing that one next. But, we're all on different levels. Everybody's on a different, page. We're starting to be on the same page a little bit. And then just to finish with the comment from the very beginning why I made this video, the gentleman was stating, if I remember correctly, that he didn't understand that why, if we're in a different world, that everybody wasn't the same like him, right? So what did Jesus say? Jesus said that I came into the world to help. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he came in the world to help the people that needed the help, not the people that don't need the help, right? So we're here to help those people, move up a level, right? We're not here for ourselves. We're here to help other people. So that's, number one. So if you're at a higher level, You're here maybe to help, be a guide for the other people. Okay. And then about, did we switch in Earth? I know I, spoke about it in a video before, and I read a Bible passage about it, and it's a big deal, right? Are we actually on another world? It would make sense, right? It would make good sense. I can't say for sure certain if we are or not. I could look at a star map of what they want to show me. Every time I look at one, it keeps changing. I could look at the Earth, and then every time I look at the maps, they keep slightly changing, and everything's changing, right? So you could say it's vibrational frequencies. You could say it's timelines merging. You could say all these, things. You could say we're in a simulation and everything's merging together. I think the most important thing is, come from love, understanding for everybody, having the right, mind frame, not, worry or give in to fear. Certainly remember that Jesus is our Savior. And I was shown that for a number of different inquiries I put into God, So maybe I'll do another video about that. But I think that, anyway, I think that wraps about it. I'm going to do another video down the road, maybe one about meditation if you're interested. If you're not, I'm sorry. And I hope I didn't bore you. Please forgive me, but like, comment, subscribe, share, all those things, as everybody always says at these videos. It does help me. I saw a couple people were watching and disappeared, but if you get anything out of this, let me know. I do try to comment back at everybody that comments, and thank you so much. All right, have a great day. Bye.